Ashley, do you think you will focus too much on accessibility and less on the student community as a whole? That's less on accessibility for non-traditional students rather than the student community as a whole.
No, I don't think I will concentrate too much on that, because I'm really keen on improving the communication within the departments already. So it's not just about non-traditional students, it's supporting you, the students that are already here as well. I'm passionate about all students from a variety of backgrounds. You are people at the end of the day. I'm a people person. It's people that are in my heart. I've always worked with people. It's just been part of me and who I am. So no, I'm here to represent everybody, not just non-traditional students.
Ashley, your second question. You say that you want to combat exam bunching, but students are already given a draft exam timetable, and without their feedback, the university cannot make alternative arrangements. How will you encourage students to use their voice?
So, encouraging students to use their voice can be really difficult because, as we know, there are a lot of students that don't currently engage with us. And I think it's because we're not as person-centred as we'd like to be. So it's about going out and actually reaching out to those students, whether it's going to accommodation blocks, whether it's going to the clubs and societies and speaking to them there, or whether it's going along to the events of which these students are actually holding themselves. So it's about going out, it's about getting butts off seats and actually going out and speaking to people and encouraging them to come along and encouraging them and telling them that their voice really does matter. Because without students, there would be no university. And without university,
Okay, Matt, you ready?
Yeah.
Matt, why do you think car parking is an issue the Vice President Education should be focusing on?
Car parking might not seem like the most obvious issue for the Vice President Education, but when we have got students who are spending 20, 30, sometimes even 40 minutes circling around the car park, that's time that they're not in their lectures and seminars. We hear too often of students who maybe arrive to campus, say, 22 the hour, and are still driving around the car parks at 5 past. They're missing their lectures and their seminars, so I think it's not just an issue for the Vice President, it's an issue for all of us. The more we just get involved there.
More than is healthy for you. So how would you ensure that you go the distance and run your marathon and don't burn yourself out leaving this student union with no Vice President Education for weeks or maybe for the whole year?
Yeah, you're right, that is something I've been guilty of in the past, but I think we learn from our mistakes. So I was involved a lot this year with fixing the PGP problem in the management school, and that was something that took me a lot of work and a lot of hours. And you're right, it is a marathon, it's not a sprint. I think it's all about getting that work-life balance right. As a school officer, you're doing everything on top of your existing studies, and as a result, you don't really give yourself set hours. I think as a VP, you've got to be flexible, and you've got to work to get the job done. You've got to realise that you're not trying to get it done as quickly as possible, you're trying to get it done as best you can. And sometimes that takes a while.
So I have been guilty in the past of taking on too much and burning out quite quick. But again, just like Matt says, it's about learning from your mistakes. So if elected as VP Education, I would be stepping down from my job as National Care Leader Ambassador for the charity I work for. I'm also stepping down from the MU Scotland Student Executive Committee this June. So literally VP Education would be my top priority. But again, it's about being flexible, it's about sitting down on a Saturday or Sunday night and planning out your week ahead to ensure that you don't burn out. But in the last year alone, I've really tried to prioritise self-care because we talk about it a lot, but we don't actually implement it. Having that one day a week where I'm not doing anything, setting aside time for myself, and just making sure that everything is planned a week in advance.
I believe that students are fully aware of support available to them. I think that the university should spend less time trying to bring funding in for research and more time on quality of teaching. I us. Emma Binns is also running, and you can check out her manifesto on the union website as well. So I'll hand over to Heather. Oh wait, we'll give you a minute to speak. I'm so sorry. No, we will. Jess, you have 1 minute to speak, starting now.
Hi, as has been said, I'm Jess Logan and I'm running for VP Communities. I'm running because clubs and societies have been like my life for the past 4 years, and I really feel like I can make a huge difference to the lives of Stirling students. What I'm really dedicated to achieving is the development of students as researchers, greater involvement from departments and societies and clubs, and greater access to club storage on campus. More than that, I want to make sure that every club and society has a voice and knows how to use that voice, no matter their size. I want to increase volunteering for the green and blue space to further improve our record of sustainability and make sure Stirling campus is a great place for us all. A vote for me is a vote for enhanced transcripts and a union that more completely supports its students and their activities. Please vote for me. Thank you.
First of all, well done for not going over time. That's an achievement. And I'm going to hand it over to Heather for your questions.
Okay.
Jess, you say on your manifesto that you want to improve access to gender-neutral toilets, as these are currently not available on campus after 4 p.m. Why is this a priority for you when it is something that affects such a small minority of students?
Well, I think just because they're a minority doesn't mean they're not important. Like, not having access to these gender neutral, like, if people don't know, it's for people who are non-binary or don't identify as like male or female, so like they can have a safe space, if people don't know. And like, it can be a huge issue for some people if like they're holding in their pee all day, like that can cause bladder issues. So you need a safe space for them. Probably more of them than you think, like. And like,
of the fifth staff officer, and also where is the funding for a fifth staff officer coming from?
well, obviously I'm like not that clued up on like all the budgeting and stuff yet, so I have to look at that. But at the Liberation Zone last year, we passed a motion like highlighting the importance and like saying it was something that the sabbaticals were going to work at. So like, it's obviously going to still be my role to work towards finding funding for this, and the fifth sabbatical would be in charge of equalities and diversities on campus. So, hello? Does that answer your question?
Okay, Jess. Is that a question? Dan has a question at the back.
You just made the case that minorities matter very nicely and compellingly. What would you do to improve the engagement of minorities of all backgrounds with the union and with clubs and societies?
I really feel like we have the Liberation Zone at the moment, which like kind of feels almost separate, and I feel like the Liberation officers at the moment, hopefully we're going to change that name, are like should be present for all like community zone meetings and all like exec zone meetings to make sure like what we're doing is to the best of our ability to encourage inclusion and make sure it's accessible for everybody.
And we will take one final question, sorry Jess, from James Fitzsimons.
Oh, no.
I think I resent that. I was just looking at your manifesto and I agree with a lot of your points. I was just wondering if you could clarify a little bit more about the meat-free Mondays plan you have.
Oh, bingo, everybody!
The meat-free Mondays, at first, thanks. The meat-free Mondays are going to be implemented. Do you know the little trays when you first go in on the left into the union? It's going to be every lunchtime, well, every Monday lunchtime, they're just going to be vegetarian and vegan options. Because right now we're not able to like have any say over the like actual menu or any of the other outlets at the moment. So it's just going to be like one little thing just to like encourage people to like maybe try some vegetables. And like, don't worry. You'll also be able to
read out 7 statements. I want you to hold up the green if you agree, and the red if you disagree. You can only hold up one, and you cannot justify your answer.
Okay.
Clubs and societies are an excellent way to get involved with university life. Students are genuinely interested in environmental and ethical issues. I think it is fair that the media societies get around £1,000 each and the other 70 clubs have to compete for £3,000 between them. I said no quitting from the club. Pulse up, I'm watching you. Okay, number 4. I believe that clubs and societies are better than sports teams. Question number 5. I believe that the current sabbatical team secured a good deal for university accommodation. Okay. Next question. I believe graduation is a fair price. Last question. I believe I'm the best candidate for Vice President Community. Thank you very much, Jess. We are going to take a short break.
My name is Craig Forsyth and I'm standing for the position of Union President. As has been touched on several times in this campaign, one of the most pressing issues facing students today is the rising cost of accommodation. When I first arrived at Stirling University, our hall's options included Murray Hall, AKD and Guinness Court. Affordable but basic. However, the university has progressively replaced these affordable accommodations with luxury and are charging students more in rent than they receive from SAS. This is unacceptable and cannot continue. Furthermore, students living outside of the university accommodation are being let down by the union when choosing to live in private tenancies. Many students are forced to live in poorly maintained flats, which receive the bare minimum of potential from landlords who are only interested in profit.
Whenever you're ready.
Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Dave Keenan and I'm running to be your next union president. And I'm running for several reasons. First of all, I believe that our university must be more transparent and accountable. Too many of us will go through our 4 years at Stirling without once coming into contact with senior management, and these are the people that make decisions which directly affect each and every student at this university. That is why I am proposing that we hold semesterly meetings with senior management where students get to grill senior management and hold to account for their decisions. I want to set up a mental health campaign called Speak Your Mind, which will encompass every student at this university, but with a particular focus on men. I want to start a dialogue on campus so we can start breaking down stigma and barriers in mental health. And most importantly, I'm standing because students are being burdened with a 5-star premium to live in accommodation.
Good evening, my name is Alex Frost and I'm running for union president. I want to make sure that the union has turned its focus back to what's important, and that is you, the students of this university. I want to start a big ideas forum that has been implemented in similar universities like Nottingham and Trent. So any problems that you have, you can tell Uniform and be engaged. I want to increase support for accommodation liaison students and volunteers who put in the maximum of effort that they can with their course, and helping others who don't already receive that benefit. I've spoken to them already, and although they started to implement these changes, they've been forgotten again.
Did you realise that Dundee makes a significant deficit every year from being a party union? And the second part of it is, you said you want cheap drinks. Do you think that's really a good way to foster a safe environment?
Well, firstly, the safe environment comes from the fact that students are able to drink in the safety and security of their own campus. And Dundee but I think that a deficit is a slight price to pay for the safety of our students. Also, cheaper alcohol pricing will not come without its own responsibilities. We will work to encourage students to think more responsibly about how they drink and how they enjoy alcohol. I think we need to move away from this culture of blame and who's to blame for certain issues that have arisen amongst all our sports teams. Inclusivity training is not a punishment and should not be treated as such. For example, after the Busgate scandal that rocked the hockey team, they were then put on sensitivity training. To correct their actions. However, if sensitivity training had taken before the incident, the incident may not have taken place, and the students would have remained a lot safer and would have not have faced harassment from the national press.
Excellent. Okay. Alex. You say in your manifesto that you want a notice and review board for student accommodation. How will you achieve this without bringing the union into disrepute for libel?
Well, the review and notice board, in my mind, is designed in such a way that it has community set guidelines which are laid out as soon as you enter. That is, ways in which that you can avoid being accused of libel. It's essentially can be moderated by either the sabbatical position or anyone that will be in student support services. Anyone that you would go to should be able to, for support with accommodation, will be in charge of this. Don't cut.
No, sorry, I was breathing out, I'm sorry.
That's alright. Look, essentially it's just going to be a set of moderated community guidelines, so every time that you go and put forward, say, photographic evidence of my roof is caving in because it's raining, it's an example, it's happened. You're not going to be liable, going to be sued for libel. It's in reinforcing your position so that you are in the safest possible way, giving your feedback against really, really, really crap accommodation.
Alex, you were previously an accommodation liaison student, so you've had first-hand experience, and you say in your manifesto that they need support. What do you see that looking like?
The way I saw it last year, I went to the union after being an accommodation liaison student, and the one thing that was missing from that was the debrief. At one point I had to cover a colleague of mine who had to go home because his sister had been in a car accident. I had a 9 AM class test the next day, and I dealt with 3 suicide attempt call-outs. I was then expected just to carry on as normal the next day. I failed the test, but that's not a problem for me. What happened was that we were constantly being told that it didn't matter, you'd be fine, carry on, fill out the report, why is the report not there, why are you tired, why are you not turning up on time? What needs to be there is a constant check every 2 weeks, either from sabbatical positions and accommodation services. This is not being fulfilled. That's the support you need, to know that someone has your back covered when you're sitting there dealing with the mental health issues and welfare of the students that stay at this campus.
You've got a lot in your manifesto about accommodation. I'm not going to ask you about any of that. Dave, you said on Tuesday that you believe the union president should be politically impartial. You attended the Palestine protest at a Politics Society event, and there is video footage of you chanting, "Shame, shame, shame on you." Do you think that this is appropriate behaviour for a
But Dan asked me a question earlier on when he interviewed me for the break, and he raised this question. He asked me, if I was union president, would I stand in the way of Balsock? And my answer is no, because as union president, I will represent every single student here, regardless of ideology. But I'm not going to apologise for being at the rally.
You want to focus particularly on men's mental health, as men are twice more likely to commit suicide than women. But what will you do for mental health in a wider capacity?
That's a really good question. The point of me in my manifesto is I want to encompass every single student on this. If I get elected, I want to start opening a dialogue with students based on their experience of mental health services within the university and out of the university. And I want students here to actually finalise how that campaign is going to look. I put the point in my manifesto I want to have this campaign, but it's not finalised. And I want every single student to get involved and help shape what that campaign is going to look like.
So because the university is the union's main benefactor, it's important to maintain good relationships with them at all times.
Okay. The union president should have final say on all union matters. I believe all SU staff should be paid a living wage. I believe that being affiliated to NUS provides many benefits for the students' union. I believe that Palestine is one of the most important issues for Stirling students. I believe that cheap drinks are the best way to bring students into the union's training facilities. I believe I am better than the other candidates.
Thank you very much, candidates, for being president. Are we taking a break? Yeah. I am one away from winning bingo. Lauren has used one as well, and it's
We got this. Sorry, don't worry about it.
whenever you're ready. Hang on, I just opened Snapchat by accident. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephen Watson. I'm currently your badminton president and I'm running for the role of sports union president. So, I think that sports is an incredibly intrinsic part of the university experience, and I'm passionate about getting as many people from many different backgrounds involved in it as possible. I plan to do this in two main ways. So firstly, I want to improve the marketing of all of our sports clubs. I will do this through working with the committees in the form of seminars to teach them how they should be portraying themselves, but also by getting stronger ties with our media societies. Furthermore, I want to hold events which will target at different groups and societies to show everyone that sport really is for everyone. If you believe like me that Stirling is the best university for sport, if you think that everyone should be allowed to do sport regardless of their background, and and if you want to begin fighting the negative stereotypes that affect both our sports clubs and our society as a whole, you need to ask yourself what's in it for you and vote for me as your candidate.
Okay, so I'm Jess Morris and I am rerunning to be your sports president for next year. I'm rerunning for two main reasons. Firstly, as Stephen said, what we all are truly passionate about student sport. It creates so many incredible opportunities and experiences, and the chance to kind of shape that opportunity for students at Stirling is a really exciting one. Secondly, I've been in the job for a year now. I've gained invaluable kind of knowledge in the running of the union, and more importantly, the areas in which I believe it can develop. Two of those areas, I will talk more, but I've not got time. Two of those areas are developing the sports facilities. We're currently completely maxed out. Our clubs are fighting for every spare second of space. It means we're limiting participation. Oh my God! And our second one is, my second one is to continue to build the Stirling Sport brand, Bleed Green. It's about formalising the way that we shout about our achievements. Thanks very much, gentlemen.
Okay,
Hi guys, my name is Greg Whitehill and I am president of Champion Gymnastics for 2 years now, and I run for sports president as well as these two lovely people. There are quite a few things that I think could be done to further improve what Jess has done amazingly this year. One of the main things that I think needs to change is the kit in the sport and clubs, and it's just not good enough. Like the time that it comes, the stand that it comes, you order something, it comes 2 months later, and you're in the trampoline club, it says balance on the back, which is it's not ideal, it's not what you want. Another thing which I think that clubs need to know is funding. I think there's a lot of funding out there which you do not know about, and it's amazing. Trampoline just offered 10 grand to get a new trampoline, which is insane. We can then hold competitions and bring money into university. So I do mean both. I think the quality is not good enough, and I think the other thing you said is also very, very important. I have been looking into it, and I've got a fund outside which I can bring in, which would help massively. They're very, very interested, and they'd be very, very keen. There's also different brands like Claire Nail, there's a brand called VLK, which are very, very good, and I think they could be incorporated into the university.
Hey. Can you repeat the question, please?
On your manifesto that events will be held at least once a month to promote inclusion in sport. Can you explain exactly what these events will be and how they will promote inclusion?
Okay, so my current idea for it is that I want to have it set up as a type of give it a go, but targeting specifically to society. So, for example, if 1 month's theme was non-binary members of society in sport, we'd partner it with a sports club and work together with, for example, the gender equality movement and badminton for self-promotion, and actually work together to make sure we get influence from sport, and then again we can show the sport is for everyone.
What I mean is, at the moment, the university has no current plans to develop our facilities. It's not a priority for them at the moment. We are going to be left behind when compared to universities like Heriot-Watt, like Dundee, like hashtag be green, like Dundee, like St Andrews of Glasgow, who have recently or intend to in the very near future spend millions of pounds on their facilities. We're Scotland's University for Sporting Excellence, and if we stay in the same situation that we are, in a way, we are limiting participation because our teams cannot get enough training time. We cannot have any more netball teams. For example, a netball give it a go this year. More than 80 people turned up. We have 4 teams which cater to about 40 people. What do we do with the other 40? We can't facilitate them right now. It needs to be a priority because we're turning down participation, and that is not what we should be doing as Scotland University for Sport and Excellence.
So I do believe that kit is one of the most important things to change within the university. I think what you're talking about is more of a lab culture than towards kit. I think trying to get rid of lab culture is very, very tricky.
But on Tuesday, you said that the kit is the most important issue.
Okay, we could let Greg answer the question.
I do think it is the most important thing to change within the university on the sports side of the university. But for the lab culture, which I think you're talking about, it's very hard to get rid of. I think you can put aside rules and regulations on the consequences of their actions, but through the use of kit and sport, I don't think that kind of relates too much with that. I think kit needs to change. I think it's very, very key for sport in the university. I think it's one of the most important things to keep the sport accessible and inviting people to have a range of kit, which we don't quite have at the moment. But the lab culture is something we can't quite get rid of, but we need to put those rules and regulations in place.
Okay.
Kind of not in defence of Greg, well, I guess kind of in defence of Greg, we're all kind of saying, is that kit is not, I don't want to say a quick win, but it's something that you can say, right, we're going to change it and we can change it. Lab culture is not just a problem at Stirling, it's a problem nationally, and there isn't an easy solution. So maybe, yeah, it wasn't right in saying it's the biggest problem that faces our sports teams, but it is something that can be solved, kit can be solved quite quickly, quite well. In fact, if you have an answer to that, please tell me. But in terms of lag culture, I don't want to speak too soon, but I think we have seen a change this year. I know there are 2 events that keep being brought up, and they were particularly bad events, and they gave us, you know, the limelight was on us for all the wrong reasons, and it was sports teams that were at the heart of that. But there's only so long that we can kind of keep dragging up the same 2 incidents. This year, I'm like touching wood as we speak because I live in fear, but we haven't had insight into my life, and we haven't had incidents on that scale, and I want to say we haven't really had incidents in that sense at all. So I think it's kind of time for us to move on from those incidents and just be like, well, actually, incredible, one of the best years, in fact, probably the best year in Stirling sport that we have ever had. We have outperformed every other year. We are doing an incredible job. I think we need to focus on that as opposed to these things that have happened in the past.
So I completely agree with everything that's just been said. I think kit is very important, but it's, in my opinion, not the most important thing about sport at this university. Just to touch about what Jess said, I think it's very important that we need to begin actually moving on, but it's more critical that we don't forget what we've learned from these situations. The second that we become complacent about inclusion and accessibility, the second that these things happen again.
I believe that sports teams provide a sense of belonging for students.
Okay.
Question number 2. I believe that sports teams are well liked by the rest of the student community. Jess, you want to answer? Yes or no?
Yeah, you have to answer.
I believe that sports teams are well liked by the rest of the student community. We should look at an alternative kit provider instead of cookery. More union money should be given to sports teams over clubs and societies.
We can't justify it.
Okay, so more union money, so the money we get from the university, that block grant, more of it should be given to sport than clubs and societies. No. Okay. No, participation in sport is more important than competition. Improving sports facilities on campus should be the #1 priority for the university. Last question. I believe I would be better than the current sports president.
Oh my God! Wait, hang on.
I believe I would be better than the current sports president. Thank you very much. Round of applause for our sports